The Battlebots 2022 tapings are going on right now, and with regular season competitors also come alternates. We've seen alternates that have been passed at Battlebots, and some alternates have become big names, some not so much. Today we're going to talk about all the confirmed alternates so far, plus robots that are rumored to be alternates, and robots that are also happening to be present that may be alternates or may just be backup robots. We're going to have to see. We're talking about all alternate robots, though, at the 2022 Battlebots season right now here at the Combot Collective.
Oh my God! Wow! This is the biggest flame we've ever seen.
Has preserved enough energy to get in the flip on Carbine. We're going to go all the way.
Welcome to the Combot Collective.
Hello everybody and welcome to yet another news episode here at the Combot Collective, bringing everything you want to know from the 2022 Battlebots season. And in our last news episode we talked about robots dropping out. Well, today we're talking about robots that may be coming in for robots that dropped out. Almost every year at Battlebots, the competition has alternative competitors who are guaranteed a fight if they're present, but they are not guaranteed a full-time opportunity at the regular season unless enough robots, or in certain cases, certain robots, pull out of the season. Examples of these roles are Swamp Thing and Chronic back in 2015, Ambush and Yeti in 2016, Bale Spear in 2018, Mad Catter and Sharkoprian in 2019, and most recently, Double Jeopardy and Big Dill in 2021. Some of these robots like Yeti and Mad Catter have gone on to Battlebots stardom, while others like Chronic and Ambush would never get the opportunity to fight inside a battle box on national TV. But today we're here to relay and run down the robots that we've heard about being alternates at the currently filming 2022 Battlebots Championship season, along with robots which are rumored to be alternates for the 2022 Battlebots season, and even robots which have or may have pulled out, which these alternates could be filling in for. We're chatting about robots which have fought in China, robots which have succeeded in the live scene, even robots you would not expect to be brought up in this kind of video, so let's not waste time and start talking about these machines here. First things first, we're going to run down the three pure alternates which have already been confirmed to be present at Battlebots 2022 with this role. We've seen them in the pits and in various media like the Scorpius Battlebots blog already, and speaking of Scorpius, we start off with the very last robot confirmed for the 2022 Battlebots season, a newcomer to Battlebots but certainly not a newcomer to the heavyweight class. We're talking about Team Bob Bash's newest acquisition, Dragon King, who was confirmed on the 17th of October to be present at Battlebots as one of the competition's alternative competitors. Dragon King is originally from Utah's DT Robotics, the same team which made the 2016 Top 16 member Red Devil, along with numerous other robots like Hyperactive, Unibite, and Gnome. Dragon King originally competed at the Combot circuit over in China, but failed to have nearly close to the same success as its sibling robot Red Devil, with Dragon King acting as a mid-season entry at both This Is Fighting Robots and Combot 2, but only putting up a 1-2 career record in both these competitions, with losses to Battlebots 2021 competitor Orby Blade and Warrior from the legendary Team Thor, but also picking up a shocking victory in 2019 against one boxing champion, a robot who you may know better as Tantrum, as back then this was during its rise to the top tier in heavyweight class under this alias in China. The Dual Saws and Dragon Claws of Dragon Clean are currently slated to be the sole newcomer alternate competitor at Battlebots 2022 this year, and with the team focused so much on Scorpius, I'd be surprised to see Team Bot Bash also run Dragon King during the regular season, but we have seen on social media numerous pictures of a team which looks incredibly familiar, but I'm not exactly sure who's wearing these Dragon King uniforms, with Battlebots ref John Remar here. So perhaps they found someone to drive the robot for them in the regular season. We'll have to see how that ends up working out for them. I would love to see Dragon King compete on TV this year. But moving on down the line here, like I mentioned, we have a pair of veterans which have also been confirmed to be alternates during the 2022 Battlebots season, and a pair of robots I'm quite frankly shocked that she shoved into the waiting room group here, much due to both these robots having incredibly impressive appearances at live events across the United States this year. These two teams and robots will be Washington's Team Food Fight, part of Western Allied Robotics, with Big Dill, and the real surprise here for me, North Carolina and the UK's legendary Team Danby, with former Battlebots playoff member Slammo. Team Food Fight's Big Dill was a solid middle-of-the-pack robot in 2020, but will be slated as an alternate in 2021, making it this year one of the first Battlebots two-time alternates, but would appear in Battlebots Champions and Vengeance in Vegas exclusively, but overall putting together a disappointing 0-3 year, as the team would seriously bounce back later on in the year at Robot Ruckus 2021. Just a couple months later, Big Dill would show up rocking an all-yellow livery and the name Banana Runt, going on to dominate, going 5-0 at the event with victories over robots like Slammo, Bale Spear, and Extinguisher in the finals, which led to a lot of fans, including myself, to expect Big Dill to make it into the 2022 season full-time off that performance. Especially with the impressive upgrades made to the robot this year, such as the new Whiplash style weapon they have up front. You know, it's always good to have a vertical spinner. You got to score damage points, something that Big Dill was certainly lacking in 2020. But no luck here, as we would learn on the October 19th Scorpius vlog that Big Dill was in fact an alternate for this year. Similarly, Team Danby and multiple versions of Slammo would have an impressive live tour season after a rough year at Battlebots 2021, also going 0-3 while losses to robots like Hypershock and Malice, a performance that likely would make anyone anxious about that team returning for Battlebots 2022, but after Battlebots, Slammo 1.0 would place third at Robot Ruckus 2021, the same event as Big Dill, and Slammo 2.0 would place second at Robotica 2022 in July, leaving Team Bambi with a pretty impressive resume, all things considered, entering this 2022 season. And all that on top of the fact that Slammo was just recently a top 32 caliber robot, just the season before last in 2020. One would think that this would do enough for Slammo to return full-time, but think not, as a source has told me that Slammo, just like Big Dill and Dragon King, will sit and patiently wait for good news at the Battlebots 2022 tapings. So those are those three robots that we know for sure sit as alternates at 2022, but there have also been a few robots rumored to be alternates, such as the Maryland Rookies and Team Bad Ideas with Doomba, and even Team Waiachi's 2022 playoff member Fusion, who had a disappointing 1-2 season in 2021. It would be a surprise to see a Waiachi robot as an alternative, but with that being said, these are just rumors which have been spread by some various members in the community that I have picked up on. Quite frankly, personally, I would expect both Doomba and Fusion to be regular season robots in the main field. Fusion, of course, brings such a unique weapon design, and Doomba is just going to make for good TV. If people love Rusty the same way, they're going to love Doomba. But there is good news for these alternates at Battlebots. Like we mentioned in our previous news video, the newcomer Doom has failed safety and will miss the 2022 Battlebots season. And this opens the door for at least one of our Battlebots 2022 alternates, and may explain the Dragon King picture which appeared on social media that we discussed earlier. There also have been talks about Double Tap having issues getting through safety. And the robot Rusty itself, we have seen his driver, but the robot itself, Rusty, absent in all pit content so far, which I think is also quite a noteworthy situation I've caught on to. I'm personally quite excited for both Ostrich Air's Double Tap and the debut of Rusty Jr., I would believe. I mean, you have to think so. We got a Hexbug toy after all. So here I am hoping that they are present, but only time will tell. Finally, we have the unique cases of two robots which are present at Battlebots 2022 in strange capacities. It is unknown if these robots are alternates or what their status is at all, to be honest, as we talk about the Brazilian rookie Samurai and, believe it or not, the 2021 top 16 member P1. So we start with the latter here with P1, who of course is the predecessor to Aberrant Robotics, now known as Omega Team's current robots, Starchild and Ripperoni. And while P1 does not pack nearly the same punch as these two new robots from the team, P1 is still a proven commodity, obviously, with victories last year over robots like Hypershock and Valkyrie, plus contested fights against others such as Lucky and Sawblaze. P1 was originally intended for the 2022 season, but the team did decide to sit out after it was clear the crew had to move to more of a damaging robot design if they wanted to move further in the top 16, but it seems that the robot is still present at Battlebots this year. On the October 17th Scorpius vlog episode, we would see during the monsoon segment at P1 presumably sitting under the Omega Team pit area for just a couple of seconds on camera, but these couple of seconds do confirm P1's presence in Las Vegas, and I would assume this means that it is probably a bottom string alternate for the event this year, probably under the same thing as Swamp Thing for Tombstone in 2016, 2015, 2018, and Foxic for Team Danby in 2019. So that's P1, but finally we close it off with a very unique situation for one Brazilian team. A team we discussed on TCC social media before. The Team Thunder Rats alumni, now known as Team Samurai, are, according to one of my sources, present at Las Vegas with their robot Samurai. For those who missed the TCC news presser earlier in the year, Samurai is a rookie two-wheel drive undercutter similar to Valkyrie, which is made from a crew of veteran Brazilian roboteers, which is currently signed up for RoboGames, but according to the team itself via a DM from one of my sources, the team is quote-unquote at Las Vegas with their robot and is quote-unquote trying to get a fight. This is an exciting and interesting premise, but when my same source would ask Battlebots about Samurai's inclusion, the social media coordinator on standby, presumably Greg Munson, would say that the team is just visiting, which doesn't speak too much promise for Team Samurai getting a chance in the battle box. Now, obviously, a lot can change. This is a walk-in team, just like Team Bad Kitty from 2019 and Team Yeti from 2016. So perhaps they will find an opportunity to strut their stuff inside the battle box, not end up this way of some Battlebots 2018's travesties like Acme Pilot Drill and Raven. Likely not, since on the 25th we would see a post from a fan showing that Samurai was on display after one of the Battlebots taping shows. So overall, I mean, the team has traveled all the way from Brazil, which is a bold move. So perhaps the team is just getting used to the United States in the whole Western U.S. area and prep for RoboGames, or maybe they're just dropping off the robot in preparation for that event. Right now, we don't currently know, and we likely won't know until more info is revealed. And of course, that's info we will be covering here at the Combot Collective, covering everything we can, but that's going to wrap it up for us here. This is another news episode of the Combot Collective talking about the alternates that we know, rumored alternates, dropped out robots and rumored dropped out robots, and robots that are present with no current title like P1 Samurai. Some interesting cases here. I really do hope we get to see Dragon King on TV. Hopefully those pictures do show that Dragon King will be coming in. But big deal right now, I would guess, is the robot taking over for Doom. That would be my guess, since they've been here for so long. I would imagine they're the robot first in line. I would imagine Dragon King's probably back of the line, since that robot is part Team Scorpius, and you know, that's such a key robot for Battlebots this year. The team's definitely going to want to focus on this robot, even though it does have a separate captain. But like we say, only time will tell. We're going to have to see how that goes down. We're gonna have to see what happens with P1. We're going to have to see what happens with Samurai. Samurai's a robot I think Battlebots should definitely put in Battlebots champions if they have the chance. I mean, why not? It's single elimination. If the robot gets torn apart, so what? But yes. That's all we have here at the Combot Collective. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I am Sterling Brown. You can find me on Instagram at SterlingTXTG. As for the Combot Collective, though, you can find our Facebook and our Instagram in the description below, along with our Discord page. That's where all of our video uploads drops first, so definitely join that group. We're trying to get more activity buzzing in there. As for the YouTube channel, please give us a like, comment, and a subscription to the page. We are currently planning to do more live streams. I don't know if anyone tuned into the King of Draft live stream or the Immense Havoc live streams, but I definitely want to do some live streams more in the year. I talked about this in the prior video, so skip this if you want, for these upcoming videos talking about the Battlebots 2022 season. So I bought some kits. I've had plenty of kits in the background. We're going to get these assembled for the TCC set here, do some live streams for them, talk about robot combat, so stay tuned for those. Those are going to be fun. But yes. Thank you so much for watching the Combot Collective. I'm going to quit screwing around here. This is Sterling Brown. Thank you so much for watching this episode. We'll see you next time for more news about the Battlebots 2022 tapings.
This was the Combot Collective. Find us on Instagram and Discord.